Hello and welcome everyone. With the COVID-19 pandemic, a lot of us have had to make adjustments and work from home. How can we have more meaningful conversations with our coworkers in this pandemic, in this situation that we are in? Sarah, here to the rescue. I make videos that help you take that person that you want to be, the one that you have of yourself in your mind, and make that person a reality. So keep watching and be that idealized person that communicates the way you want to at home with your coworkers. Now this video is presuming that you have a desk job, so you work from home and you're working on the computer to communicate with coworkers through video calls, email, that you use tools like Slack. So that's the main focus of the type of communication I'm talking about in this video. Now last week I did a video about how I lamented the fact that our conversation and how we have conversations have kind of just disappeared. You can check that one out at the link here. In this video, I'm going to talk about the top 3 ways that we can have better conversations now that we are working from home. The first thing that you guys can do to have more meaningful conversations while you're working from home is to start one-tasking. Yes, one-tasking. Now, if you think about this, you can probably come to the conclusion that it means that we're not multitasking. Of course, with work, we have to touch points with a lot of different people, I'll presume. And when we touch points with them, we want to try to be productive. We want to try to make work entertaining. So we try to do other things. Take an example of your colleague giving you a call because you have to discuss a work situation. Now, work talk and conversations about work aren't the most entertaining, but think that you actually can make that conversation a little bit more engaging, a little bit more enjoyable if you were invested in the conversation. Because you are dedicating your time to this person only, and that allows you to think about what they're saying and actually catch if they made a comment about their home life or if they made a comment about how they're feeling. It's these things where you can pay more attention and notice them and actually catch onto it if you are fully present. Taking an example, say you are in a meeting and you are one of 5 participants in that meeting, and most of these participants don't have their video on. And so, well, you turn off your video and then you start, well, not working. You're kind of sort of listening to people, but then you're like, well, I can check social media. Okay, let me check social media. It's so easy to just open another tab, or maybe you already have one open, and do something else. You can be the person that is extra engaged. That can be you. And you can start something and make people a little bit more engaged too. Second, embrace conversation. Or to put it another way, don't try to avoid it. Have you noticed that when there is an opportunity to converse with someone, we cut it short? It's like we're having a conversation with someone and it's like so much work that we don't want it to go on for too long because it's just too much mental hassle, so we try to speed along the conversation. So we need to try to embrace conversation. We're at home now, and yet I've noticed that people are not wanting to talk more now that they're at home. Now they're so in their comfort zone of working from home that they do things to try to avoid it. Like for instance, if you're working from home and you have those video call meetings, I don't know if you've had employee meetings of some sort or just sprint catch-ups, scrum meetings, whatever you're doing at work in your meeting, you have an opportunity to turn on your video. And not that that necessarily means you're going to have a good conversation, but it means that you are present. Like, it's even harder to multitask when your video is on. So this is one way, for instance, that you can embrace conversation, having that video on. Some other ways you can embrace conversation, not avoid it, not try to run away from it, is by scheduling coffee chats with your coworkers. When I say coffee chats, they don't actually have to involve coffee. You could call it cocktail hour, you could call it whatever you want, catch up. And in this area, in this time space, is a time where you don't talk about work unless it's vital, because we are missing all of that water cooler talk. We are missing all of that lunchtime talk that we would have had if we're at the office. So we have to artificially create it. If you have a group of people that you're close with, I encourage you just to put that meeting, that coffee chat or whatever, on their calendar and then send it to them and have it repeat like 2, 3, 4 times a week. Because we're people and we have so much more to interact with and discuss than just passing on work information. Along with the bullet point of embracing conversation, I've come up with 3 conversation starters that are some go-tos that you can have now that we're in this work from home life. So conversation starter number 1. Where have you found that you are most productive in your home? It's like a non-invasive question and you learn about someone. That's 1. 2. Do you have any pets? / can I see your pets? / what is your pet's name? This might not be up your alley, but some of us love cats and want to show off their cats and want to see other people's cats. And 3rd conversation starter is, imagine it's pre-pandemic. What would you do this weekend? So the 3rd way that we can have more meaningful conversations is to be vulnerable first. What do I mean by this? Everyone is having some sort of reaction to what's going on, so why not use that as a talking point? But you have to say it first. Often, I've noticed when we're talking to people, we don't want to be the vulnerable one, so we keep it hidden. And maybe it doesn't have to be completely vulnerable. It can be something like, I am so damn bored with my work because I'm working from home right now. Do you feel that way, or is it just me? Or, I am so upset that I cannot go to the grocery store without wearing a damn mask and it sucks and I can't even breathe. I can barely talk to people. I mean, all of these things that you can be frustrated about or angry about or sad about, just tell people and don't be afraid to be vulnerable first. So in sum, how you can have more meaningful conversations at home is to 1, not be distracted, 1 tasking, okay? 2, don't avoid conversation, and 3, talk about your feelings. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a meaningful day ahead. Have a great one.